Maxime, back-to-back draws for you, but this time around you had the white pieces. It definitely didn't feel like you got much out of the opening. What is the story behind this one?
Basically, I mean, it's Italian, you know, you can play it 1,000 times, but there's always some subtlety, and here it came down to Queen e7. I think I have some notes there, but I couldn't remember. So I thought about always bishop b3, bishop e6, bishop c2. That's always sort of an option there, but I thought that anytime d5 comes, okay, here it doesn't seem to work, but at the same time, you can wait for my knight to come to f1 because I don't have time for d4, and yeah. And
speak a bit about these subtleties, because we've seen that basically happen in the game between Anish and Ding as well. Anish didn't get much out of the opening.
Yeah, it was actually what Anish did was sort of my second option. So, like, I played with a4, but he played with rook e1. I mean, different move order, but so I actually had looked at this as well. But yeah, I know it's not much for white, and Ding basically just forced a draw once he got in this h5, h4.
Yes. So
here after Queen e7, I was considering, and I thought, okay, the logical way to play against the Queen on e7 is, of course, to bring my knight. And
f5, yeah?
Yeah. And then if we go a few moves forward, so like this sort of position, I mean, I knew that there was not much, but basically, so if black goes rook e8, which is like the old main line, and here white goes queen c2, and you can go like queen d7. I think we go knight f1, and it's extremely similar stuff, because after d5 you go bishop e3, something like this. And like if you compare, like if let's say black takes, and then if you compare to this position, I mean, it's extremely similar. And I know white has some practical chances. So like, because also Pragg didn't take with the rook, which is also an option, but it does allow some knight d5, for instance.
And now, obviously, you cannot take. Maybe you can at some point if you do something like
knight
d7, c4, d4.
Yeah, here I was considering actually the move c4, but I thought, no, a5 comes, and this is why I wanted to include b4.
It's very difficult to make d4 happen.
But no, also, even if you do, the problem is like, let's say, something like this. I'm not sure black has to play like this, but b6, knight c5, it's very minimal edge for white, and can also turn out kind of early.
Backfire with this one-on semi-open file, right?
So I thought I'll go b4. I thought d5 was not really a move. And after queen b3, Pragg thought for a long time, so I don't know if he underestimated the move, but at the same time, like, it cannot be such a big deal. Yeah, maybe I thought queen b3 was nice. Maybe I should just take twice on d5 and play this position, because this might be a bit more imbalanced than just rook e3. Maybe I threaten queen e2 and some d4 sometimes. I mean, I understand it cannot be much, but maybe this was the way, like playing against the knight on c6 also, which is a bit funny looking.
Now a5 doesn't work because of b5 all the time.
So maybe this would have been the way to proceed. I thought queen b3 is a nice move. So with some b5 idea, I don't know why after rook a8 we cannot go b5, but anyway, it took. So yeah, I was actually expecting rook e6, not fe, but yeah, it seems like it's good enough. My intention was b5, but okay, so Pragg mentioned rightly that knight a5 was a move. My issue with this turned out to be this. I think it's important that you force one exchange of knights, and then after rook e5 you go b6, and my pawn on a4 is like at risk. So
you cannot get off this.
And the knight on c5 is just very good. So this is why I cannot go b5.
This looks dangerous.
So I just played knight c1, but yeah, I mean, it's minimal, but I mean, of course you expect black to hold comfortably, so I thought maybe I'll try, and then I was like, yeah, try what?
Despite the very straightforward nature of the game, it definitely felt like there were some interesting points in this one. What is it about the Italian that attracts top-level players like yourself? Because we see a resurgence of the Italian. 70% of the games with the white pieces are Italians.
Basically it comes down to, I'm more of a Rui Lopez proponent, but... sometimes you want a slower game, maybe try to provoke more mistakes. And this is what I was trying to achieve. Of course, it didn't happen. And sometimes with some move orders, you can trick your opponent, stuff like this. Whereas in Rui Lopez, black exactly knows which line he's going for. And for instance, when I played e4, e5 yesterday against Jan, he didn't try to play the Rui Lopez because he guessed that I would have something in mind, something very, very concrete, whatever that was. Whereas in the Italian, it's maybe a bit less challenging, but there's more room for black to be tricked, I guess. So that's what we're sometimes trying to do.
Ways to keep the game going. For sure, tomorrow you're facing your countryman, Ali Reza. He's definitely having a very good moment in this tournament, in the previous one as well.
It feels like he's a bit worse today, but...
How do you see that game play out tomorrow? Without giving us too many insights.
Well, my issue at the moment is my draw streak. So, hopefully at some point it breaks, but I think I'm at 21 games or something.
Yes,
yeah,
quite a few.
It's a bit insane. But both in Bucharest and Xia have been playing better chess. I've had some chances. I've not capitalized exactly on them. So hopefully I get some of those chances starting tomorrow, and this time bounces.
Looking forward to a great game tomorrow, Maxime. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Cristian. Thank you, MVL.